Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Ask the Accountant, your weekly live show for all the latest news, gossip, and insights within the accounting and bookkeeping world. My name's Johann, and I am here today, as always, with my co-host, Mr. Aaron Patrick. Aaron, how are you? Where are you today?
Hello, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm sat in Scotland. We're doing our annual pilgrimage, it feels, at the moment. So I'm sat in Edinburgh. I've been to Glasgow. I've had a very, very, very busy week that we'll come and talk about later. Some amazing a week of workation. And yeah, now I'm sat in Scotland. Sunny Scotland, actually. You told me it was raining horrible. It never gets nice around here. I was in my shorts yesterday.
Yes,
I was the only one in my shorts, but I was in my shorts yesterday.
No one else was in shorts, and well, apart from all the girls going to see Taylor Swift.
Swifties,
yeah.
I have to say, I have to say before we move on, like, I have never known a single person, a single entity, a single band, a single anything able to turn up to do one show and completely and utterly take over a city. And Edinburgh's not a small city, right? Like, you know yourself, like Edinburgh is a huge city. But she turned up and everything from bars changing their name to incorporate the Taylor Swift name to them creating special cocktails to my favorite bit about the whole weekend was we were on this bus tour going around and there was a load of the Swifties with their headphones on, like almost like a silent disco, but doing a walk around thingies, shouting at the top of their lungs, or singing, shall I say, one of their favorite songs. So amazing. Yeah, I knew she was a big deal, but I don't know if there's anyone bigger at this point in time who could pull that off. I don't think one person can make such a big impact than she is at the moment. It's incredible, absolutely incredible. Everywhere we looked, couldn't get into the hotel on time because we had to wait and all. It's been crazy. But you came along yesterday as well, didn't you? We had a nice catch up. Obviously work related. It was all about making sure we were ready for Ask the Accountant.
Yep, we had to discuss the topics for today and have a quick pint and a burger at the same time, naturally. Edinburgh has been mental for the last 4 or 5 days with this. And if Taylor Swift is coming to a city that you live in, guys, just brace yourself. Stock up the fridge and freezer, stay inside, bunker down because it's not worth going out. It's just incredible. These people were coming from all over the world as well.
We're in the taxi home after we said goodbye to you two, and the taxi driver was telling us about, that there are people going to all 3 nights, and like literally, spending that. Yeah, it's just, again, I've never ever seen anyone take over quite like this. I've been to a load of gigs. I've been really lucky, gone to some really good gigs in my life, but yeah, never seen anything like it. Just surreal, absolutely surreal.
Yeah. I've got a few clients I need to check in with this week and just see how it went for them, like food and drink places in Edinburgh. So I know they were staffing up. They were making plans for high capacity sales and stuff, like stuff we don't even normally see them worry about during the Fringe Festival. Like,
really?
They were just, everyone was very aware of what was happening and making big plans. So.
I mean, you can tell the economy had a nice boost because of it, which is what we like to see, isn't it? Definitely.
It's done Edinburgh's economy a world of good. So nice little injection before we go into the summer months. So as always, as for the last few weeks, this episode is brought to you by Apron. Thank you very much to Apron for your continued sponsorship and support. We will be talking about them more in a bit. So, right. Okay, we can't avoid the topic, Aaron. So you spent the whole week last week skiving in a Big Brother house, getting yourself into trouble because you keep walking through piles of cow poo. So how was the workation?
Yeah, so last time on the thing, I wasn't skeptical, but I was a little bit like, okay, so we're all going off. What are we going to gain out of this? Is it going to be worth our time? We've all got businesses to run. I mean, anything you do these days, you've got to think about your return on investment. I mean, you're like all of us. But I can tell you, hand on heart, that if you have an opportunity to get yourself over to a workation, if you get an opportunity to get together with people in the industry, if you get the opportunity to have a chance to see anyone, then please do it. It was one of the best experiences I've done in my career. The opportunity of just having all those like-minded people in one room, just sharing ideas, chewing the fat over problems, trying to figure out solutions. It's brilliant. I mean, I'm really lucky. The group we're with, we've got some brilliant people in the group, big and small practices. All of them have got like opportunities to share their wins, share their losses, learn from one another. But yeah, we really did have a great opportunity. I think one of the things I learned more than anything out of this is just that the industry as a whole, the accounting industry, has definitely taken a productive step forward in the last couple of years. There would be no chance you'd have had this 5 years ago, right? Absolutely no chance. Like the idea of people, accounting firms collaborating with one another just sounded ridiculous, right? Like why would you? There's no chance we'd be able to do a podcast like this. We should be enemies, right? Like we've had this conversation before. But the idea that we get together with, Rachel Harris and Stuart Hurst and, Lucy and I can go on with all the names, but the fact that we can get those people in the same room to open up and talk about the wins, the losses, it's incredible. And what we definitely saw was, doesn't matter what stage of our accounting career we were at, if we've got 10 staff, 20 staff, if we've got one staff, we've got no staff, there's always something we can learn from one another. There's always a little bit that someone's brought along to go, have you considered doing it this way? Or, you know what, I've got this really good experience. Or whatever you do not do X, Y, Z, right? Like those bits and those stories which is coming up all the time. So yeah, I highly recommend it. I've come away from it with lots and lots of ideas to improve the practice and take the practice to the next level. And yeah, couldn't thank the people enough there. In fact, we've got people in the thing, haven't we? So we just quickly go through here.
Go for everyone. Say good morning to everyone. Good morning to Dave. Good morning to Cheryl. Good morning to Rachel, Kirsty, Natasha, and Paul. And Rachel says you weren't evicted. Maybe not from that big from a house, but time will tell.
I mean, yeah, it was just brilliant. We had some strict topics we wanted to cover just to make sure we could bring it up, and those were brilliant. Opportunity for people to get up and talk about personal branding, talk about all sorts of stuff that we're talking about. Like those were really insightful. But for me, the big bits were just having the opportunity to go away with one another and having an opportunity to talk about issues we've had. Even the fact that we'll sit there and so on while we're doing work and everything, was an email will pop up and we could have that conversation about how you would deal with that email. Have you ever had an email like this before from client XYZ, and go through from there. And they're the bits where you really do kind of see what the opportunities are, not how we can help one another. And you know what, if you tackle it this way, if you tackle it that way, you're going to get a lot better. I mean, I've got to be very vague about everything I say here because it was all NDA and everything else. But all I can say is just use the opportunities we've got there, use the communities we've got. Like Kirsty says here, having business besties is amazing, makes a massive difference. We know how big the Kirsty's groups are of the world, the ICB groups and every other platform, the six-figure bookkeepers, all of those ones. The reason they exist, the reason they're there, is so that we can bounce ideas off one another and have those opportunities to talk. And I think everyone needs that opportunity to do it, because we really did gain so much out of it. And it was a brilliant experience. Some good food as well. We got people cooking for us, and had some really good food, and absolutely brilliant. So
the only thing now, you've got to the only way this is actually still stays relevant and important and valuable is actually taking the time to now implement all those ideas.
Yeah.
It's like when we go to an event, so like ZeroCon's on this week. Like when you go to that, you're going to come away from 2 days absolutely buzzing. but you've got to take time to implement it. Otherwise, it
Yeah.
voids the value of the whole thing completely overnight.
And that's one of the questions we ask on every Pit Stop podcast, isn't it? And the reason we ask it, right? We go into these events, or we go to these workations, we go to any of these sort of things here, and we become a sponge of just taking on information after information after information. I mean, you should see my iPad with the little note section we've got. You know, you can imagine it's just scrolling down just for 4 days of content, or, you know, there's going to be a lot of information there, right? But you're absolutely spot on. Like, the most important thing is to figure out how you're going to implement, or how you're just going to rank what was the most important thing to take away. No one's going to be able to go from an event like that, walk away, and just be able to implement everything first step. And
no.
One of the things I learned from here, you know, we had the opportunity to, you know, see arguably some of the most impactful practices in our industry. You know, we had the opportunity to see inside their inner workings, right? Like some of their systems in place, some of their procedures in place, some of their, you know, elements there. And one thing that was kept telling to us is, like, that wasn't built overnight. You know, yes, they have these amazing processes and they have these amazing solutions, but not one of them were able just to click the fingers, it was all done. It's all built over time, you know. And if you challenge yourself, if you challenge yourself to bring in a new procedure once a week or something, or once a month, whatever your time frame that's going to work for you, that's the key bit, isn't it? It's being able to challenge yourself just to keep adding, keep innovating, keep pushing the boundaries. And once it's done though, and once you've got those procedures in place, that's the secret sauce. You know, it's that opportunity that anyone in your firm could pick up a piece of work and it's all done in the same way, all done to the same standard. I mean, we've all loved the idea of doing that, but it's disciplining yourself to have the time to go out there and actually start building these processes and procedures, isn't it? So
yeah, definitely.
Really.
So speaking of, go on.
Well, would you ever do it, Johann? Would you ever go off on a
would
you do it with other accountants, or would you do it with, like, I don't know, other businesses, or what? If you had the opportunity, what would you do it with?
So in 2018, I think I did it in 2018 and 2019. I did what was called the Bookkeepers Retreat from the Bookkeepers Alliance. And that was other bookkeepers in the room, in a hotel for 2 days. The structure was quite loose, but the most valuable part for me was the conversations over the dinner table. Exactly. And in the evening in the hotel bar. That's where the most value came from for me. I was only 1 or 2 years in by that point, and so I realized the value of it. I've not done one in a while, because the last one last kind of workation I came away from, I didn't feel like I gave a lot, which was absolutely fine, but I didn't walk away with a lot from it. And whilst that's great to be giving back, and that's really important that experienced firm owners go to these things and do share, we still need to come away with something. Like, that person had a different take on this, and actually that's an interesting take, and I've not thought of it that way. Like, it needs to be, yes, the newer firms are going to probably go into these things and get a lot more from the whole week, a lot more, and that's great. But we still need to come out of these things and go, yeah, actually, I still learned something, and it sounds like you did. So, yeah.
But I wonder, for you though, is it worth thinking about it from more of a developer and the client engager side of things? Because is there room there to have an opportunity for you to kind of have almost like a hackathon? Do you know what I mean? Like, is that in the industry?
We've spoken about that in the past, and I'm doing some office viewings this week for client engager, because we are looking at a central location where we can just base ourselves. And do we go away? And like Ash and I have spoken a few times about going away at some point and just locking ourselves into a hotel for a long weekend and just crack on and knock out some product design that we want to get done, and we're just not getting time to do during the day, during the working week and stuff. So it's hard to do it during the week.
but is it worth bringing it with, other, software out there, maybe
Potentially,
partners or client engagement? It just,
yeah,
that idea of you guys maybe solving some of the issues you've had, something
yeah,
as simple as how you answer comments and stuff like you. Client engagement are absolutely smashing it, right? And but could others learn from that approach?
yeah,
And then could you learn something from them? Do you know what I mean? I think in
yeah,
our
definitely.
industry, especially in the vending industry, there's so much brightness at the moment. Like there's so much positivity there that if you can all kind of channel it and go in the same direction, the whole industry is going to improve, right?
Yeah, definitely. And we are working towards that with our partners and our integrations, that we're working more and more closely together. So yeah, we shall see what happens. I know Andy's got big plans for different things, so watch this space. Cannot possibly divulge. Good morning to Sue. She comes in. Speaking of Sue, let's talk ZeroCon.
Oh yes.
ZeroCon this week. I'm just going to put it out there. I feel they'd have made less money in their ticket sales than they've actually spent on advertising in the last week to sell tickets. Like the amount of ZeroCon adverts, emails, like almost daily at the moment, like from every branch of Zero, trying to encourage us to buy ZeroCon tickets. This close to ZeroCon, do we think they've struggled? Do we think with all these free conferences out there now that actually people are sat going £400 plus a hotel for 2 days, 2 days out the office, plus travel? Do I see the investment on return on investment there?
Well, if it's anything to go by the people I was spending the week with, the excitement is off the charts for this ZeroCon. I don't know if it's because it was missing last year from the calendar. I'm right in saying that, aren't I? It was, or was it supposed
It
to
wasn't
be
there
missing
last
this
year.
year? Yeah.
I mean,
Okay. So
because they were trying to save money, weren't they, by doing one ZeroCon in each geographic area
that was
a
it. It
year.
was almost like a 3-year cycle they were going to do, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they announced in their figures recently that, the reason our sales is down is because we didn't have a UK-based ZeroCon. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm not sure that is the reason, but okay.
Yeah, exactly right, exactly. But if I go by I know, okay, a couple of them was absolute Zero super fans, right? So
Yeah.
obviously they're gonna tell you how amazing this product, this event is. But just going by the excitement, there is definitely a buzz about it. So
is it
if they've
excitement about the networking, the social, and the party, or is it a buzz about the sessions, the speakers, and the announcements that they're expecting, or both?
I would imagine the announcements is going to be a bit of a worry. I imagine that's there's going to be people sitting there going, if we don't get some big announcements and some clarifications, then the next 12 months might be a little bleak for them. Possibly, I definitely would say if I was in the Zero camp now, that's how I would feel. But the networking, I know they've got some great speakers, right, and they always will do, and they've got some amazing community members who will.
Are they
make that
speakers that
network.
I can't get anywhere else? Does that justify £400 to go and see those speakers there? Because I can't see them at other events, which are free.
I don't think that's. There definitely is no exclusivity, is there? But is that what you pay for at ZeroCon? Is it for the speakers, or are you not paying for the opportunity to just be in that room with people? I don't know. I know what you're trying to say. Like, how do you justify the price, right?
I don't have to pay to be in that room with any of the other events.
You don't, but are the other events the same? Like ZeroCon, for example. Accountex. We love Accountex, but
Yep.
Accountex is very much aimed at everyone, right? Like the whole point is to try and bring as many people to that event as possible. Where ZeroCon is very much focused on, right, let's find a way to improve your practice and give away your opportunity to improve your practice. And it's very focused, isn't it? And is that what you're paying for? You're paying for a more focused event so that you don't you have a much more of an opportunity to be an agenda. That's the only thing I can say
QuickBooks, Sage, Free Agent, they all deliver those kind of events through their road shows and bigger events and stuff, and they're free.
Yeah.
And they have the same best-in-class speakers.
But Xero did a roadshow last year, didn't they?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. So they provided that for free. Look, I'm not here to defend Xero, am I? Like that'd be completely against brand and everything else. I just feel like I don't think it's the money that's the biggest issue. If they have some amazing like announcements to make, and they get on that stage, and it's like, and we'll talk about later about the Apple keynote, right? But if they can replicate an Apple keynote event, and they're going to show everyone like what Xero is going to do in the next 12 to 24 months or whatever, that's where I would see value in it. That's where I would get excited.
I'll get that in the press coverage for free.
Well,
I just don't understand where they're justifying £400 on top of time, travel, and hotels compared to the rest of the industry. Like, they haven't got exclusive speakers. These speakers will have spoken about the same topics at other events for free. So that there's no value there for me. They're going to make announcements that we'll see in the press anyway. They're going to do, and so what am I paying them for? I'm paying them for my food and drink for 2 days of partying. And yes, they say it's free, but actually, when I've got all these other great events going on, then how do I justify it to my team that I'm going to that event because I'm spending money on it, blah, blah, blah. And actually, is it just a bit of a party?
I mean, definitely, the party element is definitely part and parcel of that chunk of change, isn't it? Is that worthwhile? I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's a very good party. I'm sure people enjoy themselves. And I know they do like themes and stuff, don't they? Is it glam rock?
At what point do we turn around and say, actually, this isn't a genuine business expense then?
Yeah, I think it. Yeah, I mean, come on, you sat in a room full of accountants. I think we can justify it. I know what you're trying to say. I don't know. I think if they come out with some amazing updates, if they let people in on what Jax is going to do, if they change that narrative, right? At the moment, Jax, for anyone who doesn't know, Jax is Just Ask Xero, which is their AI counterpart. If they're going to turn around and change that narrative that Jax isn't about replacing accountants, but it's about working with accountants, I don't see how they can. But if they can, then that's a huge incentive to be there, right? Because I don't think a press release will be able to fix that damage that's been done. I think you have to be at that event. You have to see it.
I think they have to release it. They have to release it at that event to justify that that was worthwhile going.
Yeah.
Otherwise, again, I can sit there and be fed all the marketing spiel they want for free at home.
But the marketing spiel, I imagine, will still not. I can't see the marketing spiel changing that narrative. I feel like you have to be at that event. I think the people at the event is going to go away. I hope this is the case for for the industry's sake, that they're going to go away and be like pumped for Jax. Like, Jax is going to be the game changer. It's going to change the world, and hopefully it's very similar to what Sage Copilot is, right? Like, hopefully that's that same positivity that's coming out there. That's what we need in the industry, right? That's what we need the industry to do. Yeah. I just don't think a press event will be able to achieve that. So, however many people there, let's say 400 people go to this event. I don't know the numbers, but let's say it's 400. Hopefully that means 400 people walk away being positive about Jax, and then that's almost their job, if you like. I mean, you've paid 400 quid to be this privilege, but then
we're going to turn 400 people's opinions around on Jax and Xero value versus how many tens of thousands they've pissed off recently because of price changes and product, like messing around with the product offering. Yeah. I don't fancy being in their marketing team at the moment or their events team. No. I just don't see how it's going to be a success. But okay. So yeah, anyone that's going to XeroCon, keep us up to date with what's going on. I mean, we will be watching our friends at Accounting Web's articles and news release. I'm sure Tom Herbert's going to be all over this. But But yeah, cool. What else has been happening? So Buddy HR, the payroll system that I've been testing and looking at, has had a bit of news coverage. So Buddy HR is a payroll software coming over from Malta. Very big in Malta, very successful. And they are entering the UK market. They've decided that there's no, basically they're trying to pitch their cloud product with all the features of other cloud products, but at the pricing of traditional bureau desktop softwares, which from what I'm seeing of it so far is very good. Still early days, still like I would say it's an early adopters package. So if you want in, you need to accept that it's not going to work in every single way you want it to straight away, and that you are going to be spending time feeding back, but they are a very, very responsive team, and they've been actioning lists of things that my guys have been saying, oh, well, in the UK, we work like this, and this is the workflow, so you need to change this around, you need to change that around. But yeah, been very, very good. So nice to see them get a really nice write-up from Tom Herbert at Accounting Web. So yeah, it would be interesting to see what they do to the payroll space, because it's a space that I feel we hoped was getting some investment and innovation in the form of Employment Hero, and they've turned around and backed out. So yeah, let's see what happens with this. Hopefully it will be another challenger to the likes of BrightPay and stuff to keep them honest and developing. Because without these, as Marcus said on his post in LinkedIn on Friday, like as he's left Bright now as the VP of sales, but as he said, like without all these softwares challenging each other, the only people that everyone loses, the only people that win are the softwares. So as accountants and bookkeepers, we need these upstarts and these companies to come in and challenge the way things are being done, to hopefully generate some kind of new technology, new tools, new features, etc.
Yeah, we've said this before, right? With the space, the most difficult thing about the payroll side of things is they've got to spend most of their time, most of their resources on compliance, right? Like changes in the way that payroll's done, and changes in the way that we've got to keep up to date with the latest tax rates and all that sort of. So you know, you've said it before, and we'll say it again. Like most of their innovation, most of their chance to shine gets taken away from them, because they're always on that wheel, right? Like they're always having to keep on top of regulation and keep on top of that. My only concern about any new people into the industry at the moment when it comes to payroll is that, yeah, definitely, like we need innovate. We're desperate for innovation there, but is payroll the place where we should be risking our chips? Do you know what I mean? Like that's one of the areas where we got to get right each and every time. If we mess up a client's payroll, we've lost that client, is the simple way of doing it, isn't it? Or we've really damaged that relationship with that client. Yeah, we're gonna have to eat a lot of humble pie to fix that relationship. Payroll is one of those ones where it's a race to the bottom, unfortunately, but it's a race to the bottom where we've just got to be so careful. I just wonder if giving opportunity to a smaller operation or a smaller solution is safe in this industry. I don't know. That's my
I mean, if they didn't have a proven track record in Malta, I would be more dubious. Like there are some startup softwares out there that have been around for a couple of years that I still wouldn't consider secure enough to move to yet.
Yeah,
not from a security and internet security point of view, but from a how long can they hold out for before they get into trouble financially because they're not getting investment and they're not breaking into the sales targets they need to break into. So yeah, it's one of those that you need to, with anything in life, we all have different appetites for risk. Some people are happy to go and bungee jump off a bridge or a cliff. Personally, no, not for me. But I do think you take that appetite of risk for new softwares, etc., and new processes that you have personally, and you input it in your team and then you put into your practice. So in our firm, we're very open to new softwares. We understand the risk and the challenges that it faces, but at the same time, there are guidelines, shall we say, in my practice of I can't just sign us up to anything. I have to sell it to the team. I have to make the team understand why I think this is important, and they have to sign off on it. And if they don't, then we don't move forwards. Or if we only get a partial sign off, we move forward, but at a slower pace. So, yeah, it's down to each firm owner's own perception of risk towards new softwares, I suppose.
Yeah, it's just a tricky one, isn't it? With payroll, it's just that one area where there is no right answer at the point, right? Like we can go through and tell each other a tech stack that we would die on our sword for, right? Like we could be like, yeah, this is the one, this is the solution for FMS, this solution for your accounts. You know, maybe we've got variants, like differences, but we've got differences because of our use case and what our needs are. But I've yet to find someone who really goes, yeah, this is the payroll solution that ticks all my boxes and has this there.
It's like Chris has just said in the comments. So Chris Down has just said it's a symbiotic relationship between payroll, HR, and general ledger is the future, and will become more apparent with the removal of P11Ds from April 26. So, like, it's not standalone at all. Payroll, it has to be linked into HR. It has to be linked into your general ledger. It's got to be linked into your pensions. It's got its tentacles go everywhere. And that's one of the things that makes it so challenging for any software provider in that industry, is that they might have a solution to one part of it, but have they got solutions to all of it? So we are really dependent on timesheets to make our payroll efficient for bigger clients.
Yeah.
So if you've not got a timesheet option, then I'm not even going to start looking at you. Like, I need that timesheet, and actually I need it to be built in. I can't afford to add it on as a bolt-on cost. But again, there's payroll firms and bookkeeping accounting firms out there that have no interest or need for a timesheet tool. So, yeah. But yeah, it is that symbiotic relationship between all of those areas now that's going to become more and more important.
And Buddy HR, the name suggests it. Are there any news on their HR platform, or if that HR platform's in development?
So they've got HR platforms in Malta. They're starting with the payroll in the UK, and then they'll bring the rest over.
Okay, yeah. So there's an opportunity to bring that in, because Chris is absolutely right. Like with the PLM&D stuff coming through, we're going to need that all singing, all dancing. And I think us as accountants, we need to take responsibility as well, right? Like, we've got to stop this race to the bottom a lot. We've got to stop just providing a payroll service because we have to, and that's what a lot of us are doing it, right? Like, for a lot of us, it's that service that we have to provide, and some of us provide it a loss making just because we need to be shown us of providing the service, right? I think we need to change that perception. We need to start showing value for payroll again. Like US, Australia, they've all nailed it. Like, payroll is a proper valued seen service for a lot of clients out there.
So
exactly. And but we've fall foul of our own, stubbornness, really, and now we sit there and we push it all through. So it's a frustrating one, because payroll, little things, right? The idea of sending out a link to a client, so to an employee, so they can fill it out themselves, to me that almost needs to be a standard one. It's almost as powerful as having your bank connected on a FMS solution, right? Like, those little things, and that's not standard on all software, right? That is a nice to have. That shouldn't be. That should be those little things like that should be the basis.
Why in 2024 are we still getting handed in new starter forms, scanned, handwritten and scanned in? Like, that's just ridiculous in 2024. It doesn't need to be that way.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah. Okay, so before we carry on, cover some updates from Free Agent and Sage, and talk about Accounting Excellence Awards again. We need to roll our Apron sponsor ad. So, is it your ad this week?
Back to arguably the best one.
Arguably wrong.
We'll debate that one. Okay, let's roll the ad. I'm here with my friends over at Apron, our new sponsor, and we've got an amazing feature that just went live. It's called Capture. And this is going to revolutionize the way you get data from your client. Watch this. Get the receipt, take the photo, bish, bash, done. That's it. This is going to be dead quick, dead straightforward, dead simple, and more importantly, easy for your clients to use. Did I tell you got WhatsApp as well? What more do you want?
Brilliant. I do love that WhatsApp feature. Like, that WhatsApp feature is like game changing for my clients, especially the ones in hair and beauty. They love it. Like, that's how they communicate with everyone. WhatsApp, WhatsApp, WhatsApp. So being able to WhatsApp in their invoices and stuff has made their lives a lot easier.
Definitely. Now I've got while I was over at yesterday in Edinburgh, not yesterday, day before in Edinburgh, I need the opinion of the Ask the Accountant community, because I was taking some B-roll shots and some shots ready for a bit of a post on Apron just to promote them. You know, they're sponsors and we love the product, and you know, even if they weren't sponsoring, I'd be promoting them because they've really helped. But my shirt might be a little bit what's the word, diversive, because my shirt says Apron is better than Dext. Now we all know that's true, but is that the sort of thing I want to be pushing on social media in my current climate?
It's never stopped you from doing QuickBooks is better than Xero. So
but that's completely not the truth, though, right? That's not, you know what I mean? Like, that's me being 100% honest. Apron, we all know Apron is better than Dext, but do we want to start that fire? So I'm just putting it out there, people. If you think that that's a shirt that I should be promoting, then it's there. It's already out in the wild. It's just, do I press the post button? Would you
post? Yeah, definitely. Like,
maybe I'm asking the wrong person here.
I'm the guy that likes to mix things up and cause trouble. So yeah, why not? Cool. Okay, right. Let's get through some updates quickly. Free Agent have announced an update to their change of year end dates, and that's now live and in product. So this is designed for sole traders whose year end isn't in line with the tax year for the MTD ITSA compliance coming up. So they've now built that and launched it, and I've tested it on one of my clients. No problems whatsoever. Nice and easy, as always, with Free Agent. So that's live and sorted.
I think the advantage Free Agent have, though, is their underlying platform, their system wasn't... So your QuickBooks and your Xeros and maybe Sage, I don't know about Sage, but I think Sage are absolutely fine.
Yeah, I think Sage.
Yeah. QuickBooks and Xero, their problem is this whole dynamic year end. So the idea is that once you run from one date to another, it'll just automatically run your year end, which is an amazing feature. Works like it should be the standard everywhere. Well, it is for cloud-based, right? But the problem with that is trying to adapt that to dynamically change when it's not just a pure year end, but it's a shortened or longer period. That's been the problem that those softwares had. So good. So happy that Free Agents found a solution for it, and needed as well, with all the new period changes that are coming through, with all the period end changes for forcing everyone to a 5th or a 31st of March year end, the period reform. We're going to need software to help us get that through for our clients, and they're going to need that help and things. So great to see it. Yeah, it just definitely shows the frustration, though, that, or the difficulty, the challenges that Xero and QuickBooks are going to have to make it work. I hear Xero's got one side of it. It might be that they can do shorten or they can do longer or whatever when it is, but they can't do the other at the moment. And yeah, it's going to be a real pain for us from a delivering services to our client if we can't find a solution for that quick. And from what I can tell, that's not an easy fix. That's like a real pain point that is going to be there. So we'll see. Great, the Xero Free Agent's got it sorted though. And as always, they probably made it really straightforward to do. So it's good to see.
Oh, yes, definitely have. Cool. Sage have also had some product updates. So we've got the new budgeting model available. So this is to span. Basically, it's designed to give users the option to do some budgeting and set their budgets in Sage without the need to go all the way into Futurely. But if you want to take a more advanced feature, then you've got Futurely there as well. So I think I always like conversation starter tools. So whenever there's a new tool in the software that's free, and you can use it to start that conversation with the client and start them building up their understanding of the benefits of this insight, like budgets or cash flow or something like that. And then you get them to the point that they really value it. And then you can put them onto the paid for tools, such as Futurely. Then you can go, they kind of look at it and go, oh my God, this is incredible. This is worth every penny. But to go from 0 to 100 miles an hour straight away isn't always possible for clients. So actually having a free budgeting tool built into your product allows you to have that conversation without any expense, as it were, other than your time. They've got a new quotes and estimates feature going live, and they've also changed their subscription management, or they've done an update. So you can now do transfers of subscriptions 3 ways: client to accountant / bookkeeper, accountant / bookkeeper back to client, or accountant / bookkeeper to accountant / bookkeeper, for when you're transferring from one firm to another, which is always very helpful to have. So yeah, nice little updates out there from Sage as well. So
good timing as well with ZeroCon being here, so at least they get to have some time. I mean, hats off to them for subscription management, because they nailed that from day one, right? Like the idea that you could set up a client, provision a client, and sort out their subscriptions and do it all in one without having to just mess around, which we have to do in all the other platforms, right? Of adding this and adding that. So yeah, I mean, the less of a barrier of entry you can make for bringing your client on board in the first place and getting them up and running with the software, it's better for everyone, isn't it? So yeah, that's the update that I'm excited to see. Quotes and estimates, fantastic. I don't know what's new to it now, but I knew that they already had a strong enough platform anyway. So yeah, it's good to see it there. So yeah, that's good. I mean, one thing Sage does well is just keep bringing out these little updates, right? And bringing those out, just keeping on top of it. And they shout about it. Like, that's one of the frustrations we have with other platforms. Xero bring out a new font. They don't shout about it enough. Do you know what I mean? Like, there. But QuickBooks can bring out brilliant features. Yeah, I'll do a video on it, but I seem to be the only one shouting about this new feature, and everything else. Just, we Sage every time nail it in terms of getting people to know about the new feature. So good to do. I love it. Shall we just quickly go through? We've got to go back a bit, but we've got a few comments coming through before we go to the next subject.
Yeah, let's do that.
Chris says, look at the Xero UK accounts from last year. They disclose the revenue generated. That's in response to the fact that, why we're having to, or why people are having to pay for their their event. I think that says it all in just in the accounts. What we got? Paul also saying, was clicking the wrong one. I can understand paying for Star Wars conventions, for example, since they're a huge audience and space is a premium, but ZeroCon has a limited target. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day,
also,
super fan to get on you.
Yeah, that just proves my point, though. Is you pay for a Xero convention because you're going for the enjoyment, the experience, etc. If that's like, if you're paying for Xero for the same reasons, is that business related? When I could, like, if I've got to sit here and I've got to justify between going to Accountex or going to XeroCon, well, Accountex is £400 cheaper. Same place, same kind of hotel prices, same travel costs. Accountex, I'm going to have so much more value from due to all of the sessions and stuff, and it's £400 cheaper. So, yeah.
Look, I'm not the one to sit defending Xero, so I'm just gonna accept it. I tried.
Move on.
That's why I love FreshPay's approval workflow, says Paul. The client confirmed before we send. Yeah, those are little innovations like that is what it's all about. And you talk about it a lot.
Unique, because I know Buddy's got it. I know Employment Hero's got it. FreshPay, like, I think that's fairly standard now, is that electronic approval process. Because QuickBooks Payroll Bureau's got it.
BrightPay hasn't, though.
BrightPay hasn't, and ZeroPay hasn't. But yeah, the majority of softwares now have that clients confirming and authorizing things beforehand. So
Yeah,
which is good to see that it's become standard practice now.
Yeah, we love that. Isabel says, congratulations on our sponsorship. Thank you very much, Isabel. Linda says, this is how to do it too. I chat cash flow on our meeting show, showing off the future of software, and then go for a paid option showing how amazing the insights can be. Yeah, exactly. Like if they give us that book, that breadcrumb trail, isn't it, of a bit of an opportunity.
Conversation starters, I love it.
Exactly. Victoria says, good morning. First day back holiday. Hope you had a fantastic holiday, Victoria. Cool. What's next? Is it Accounting Excellent Award by any chance?
Accounting Excellence Awards. Submission deadline, 14th of June, people. 4 days. You've got until midnight on the 14th of June to submit your submissions. So we've already spoken about a lot of all the different awards. So we're just going to go through the last 4 that we've not spoken about yet. So the first one is Finance Director of the Year. So this is, hang on, I've got the wrong page in front of me.
Sponsored by iPlicit. While you get that up.
Sponsored by iPlicit. Category recognises the standout individual contribution of an in-house finance director. This category is for FDs and finance leaders who are not only experts in their field, but show a genuine, innovative approach to the wider challenges facing the accounting profession. And I think FDs are very often unsung heroes. Like whenever you see the big events at big businesses, what you don't realize is how much involvement the FDs had. So yeah, and without a good FD, then your business finances are going to be in trouble. So yeah, that's a good award. That'll be good to see who wins that. Who won that one last year, Aaron?
Last year, I've just deleted it by instead of clicking on it, which I was we're slick today, aren't we? Last year was Becky Glover who won it. So yeah, congrats to Becky. And you know, that's got to be a huge coup. The individual awards are always one of those ones where, you know, people see it as a huge opportunity to just get your personal brand out there, right? Like you being, there's only 4 individual category awards, and you've got a chance to, yeah, exactly, 4 individual category awards each and every year, and you've got a chance to be part of it. Like that's it's a huge honor to be included or shortlisted or anything else. So yeah, absolutely, yeah, brilliant. Well done.
What's interesting with these 4 awards that we're talking about today is the way they're worded on the website for Accounting Excellence implies that others will be putting you forwards for it. It's not a self-nomination award. It's a tell us how the individual has made this, that, or the other, which reads that you are nominating someone who deserves this award. So 100%. Yeah, I like these ones. Right, Practice Leader of the Year, sponsored by GI Outsourcing. A category recognises the standout individual contribution of a service line partner, managing partner, or practice leader within the accountancy firm. So if you've got an amazing leader in your firm who helps lead the firm to success, looks after their team, etc., this is an award you can nominate them for. Who won this one last year, Aaron?
Simon Cowie won it last year from Infinity Partnership. I mean, if you've got an opportunity to win Practice Leader of the Year award, that's a
even shortlist.
Yeah, like that's a huge element, right? Like the idea that you've got out there, you know, your teams obviously see you as an inspiration and pushing it forward. So yeah, fantastic. Yeah, good on you, Simon.
Breakout Star of the Year, rewarding the new talent in the industry, recognizing that. Talented and bright professionals who have broken through and are on track to be a partner or a pioneer in the profession. I like this because it's quite a broad one. Like, all right, traditionally you'd have been trying to become a partner, but actually a pioneer in the profession. That could be open to all sorts of things, that one. Currently unsponsored, but a very, very good award. Who won it last year?
So the one and only Rachel Harris won it last year. And I know for a fact that this was on her vision board. So there's one of those things that she, you know, went out to want to achieve, and she got it. And look, anyone who was on that shortlist, Breakout Star of the Year award, that is just a huge honor. It's you know, it's the disruptors, it's the people who are trying to change the industry for the good. And you know, where our industry has made some massive steps over the last 5 years or so. But we need more breakout stars of the years to come along and really disrupt it and really push it. And I think you go back, you look at the past winners, and you know, especially last year with Rachel, they're the people who are pushing it, right? They're trying to change the industry, for the good. So yeah, whoever's shortlisted, make sure you keep an eye on them, follow them on socials, keep on them, because they're the people who are going to be, finding one way or another to make sure that the industry is going in the right way. So very, very, very good award, that one. And yeah, well done to past year Rachel.
Right. Final award of the evening. Now, this award I've enjoyed watching being awarded. So this isn't decided by the judges. This is the Outstanding Contribution Award, and this is a hand-picked winner by the Accounting Web editors only. So the Accounting Web editors look at who has. This is basically a lifetime achievement award. So someone that's been in the industry for a long time, has been pushing and was maybe a breakout star at one point, has been pushing and pushing and pushing for their whole career to really improve the state of the accounting and bookkeeping industry, in turn earning themselves the Outstanding Contribution Award. And there's been some prestigious winners of this award in the past. So who won it last year?
Oh, sorry, I moved to the other page on that one. Let me quickly go back. Rebecca Cave won it last year. So yeah, fantastic. Now we were speaking off air who we believe should be winning. We won't say it on thing, but if it is who we believe it is, then that is a well-deserved. I mean, whoever wins it's well-deserved. But yeah, if it is who we think it is, a well-deserved entry and winner.
Yeah, we've certainly got a short list of people that we think would be worthy nominations for that this year, haven't we?
100%.
And any of them on that list would be well worthy of it. So yeah. So as a final reminder, people, you have got until the midnight on the 14th of June to get your nominations in, whether that's you're nominating your business, yourself, or a colleague for an award at the Accounting Excellence Awards. And then the nominations will close, will be shortlisted in July by all the judges. And you will be able to start booking your tickets for the event later this month. So even if you're not shortlisted or not up for an award, definitely a great night to go and just see all of those people. I think I said it last week, like they don't just go, and the winner is buff. They actually tell you why the judges shortlisted them. You get told why they've been nominated. And just that inside knowledge, as it were, like you can walk away with ideas and go, that's cool. I need to go and talk to that person about that. I might drop them a LinkedIn message. I might do this, I might do that, etc. So yeah.
Just a quick one. The official bit that we were being asked to ask. It's an amazing night on October the 8th at Camden Rand House. 600 professional finance, a chance network, best accountant and thought leaders around. Dance under a disco ball till 1 a.m. Award-winning food and a AAA comedian as host. Getting shortlisted is a great recognition of your talent, motivation for your team, and it generally turns into new business. So many of our finalists report that they started conversations because of the noise around Accounting Excellence Awards, and it's completely independent judging. It's completely free to enter. So why not be at the #1 accounting awards program around? So yeah, I highly recommend anyone who's not gone through any of the categories we've talked about either today or the last couple of weeks, get yourself into it sooner rather than later. Yeah, it's a great thing, and we're just really happy that we're involved in one small way, aren't we, Johann? Just to talk about it.
And be invited.
Yeah, we're really honoured for it. So yeah, good luck to everyone who's putting their applications in. Fingers crossed for you. Hopefully you make it to that finalist list, and then we can talk about it in a future episode on Ask the Accountant.
Definitely. Cool. Okay, well, we are coming to the end of our day. Now, today's going to be a bit of a longer day for me and Aaron because today is Apple's WWDC event, or Dub. Why is that important? Well, basically, we're going to find out all the latest updates for iOS for your phones, your watches, your tablets, your Macs. And we are somewhat hopeful of some extremely powerful AI announcements, aren't we? So that's at 6 o'clock tonight. So if you want to see what the future of your mobile phone is going to be, that's the one to watch. Any favorite things you're really hoping for, Aaron?
I think you're obviously going to be talking or excited about the fact that there's the AI enhancements. I think it's massively needed. Apple are way behind in terms of what the rest of the competition can do. You know, I won't say the S-lettered word that rhymes with Miri, but that isn't a compelling enough use case at the moment. Like it pales in comparison, doesn't it? But I'm excited of just how, hopefully, fingers crossed, 100, like this is my big want for it, is that they show what the iPad can do. You know, we did it again. We were sold a dream, and we bought into basically probably the most powerful piece of hardware on the planet at this point in time when it comes to that form factor. And yes, it's amazing. Yes, it can do some cool things, but it is definitely lacking in terms of its potential. So my big hope for it, my big opportunity for it would be transfer there. I've heard as well that there's some big accessibility options coming.
Yes.
There's a motion sickness one that I'm really excited for because I'm terrible with motion sickness. So
Really?
the idea that it follows you and stops the scrolling and gives you an opportunity not to get motion sickness, absolutely love it. Some hearing aid modes built directly in with AirPods. And what was it? There was another one as well. I can't remember what it was, but yeah. You know, you said about last year, right? The accessibility options with the voice elements and recording the voice stuff was absolutely spot on. So it's those innovations in those sort of things that we can't ignore, and they're the bits where it just means everyone gets access to the technology as they go forward. So it's my Christmas. I love WWDC. You know, it is like absolutely brilliant. Maybe we'll learn if Vision Vision Pro is coming to the UK. Maybe, possibly.
Doubt it, but we shall see.
Yeah. But we'll see. Yeah, let's think so. Let's think it's coming. Apparently, we're getting a new home screen for our iPhone. So whoopie do.
Yeah. I'm just hoping that we get some decent AI built into the native Apple apps, like Mail. Like Mail has got so many benefits of being your email software of choice, because the Safari browser picks up the authentication codes that get emailed into it, blah, 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 makes life so much easier. But then you look at all these AI-powered email providers and you go, that ability to summarize and create a response would be really helpful.
100%. And that was one of the best bits about the vacation I went on, was just sitting there looking at AI and looking at what the practical use cases were. So I showcased how Microsoft Copilot can reconcile a bank account in literally seconds. It literally just goes through, finds 2 data sources, and boom, you've done. And you know, people are really impressed. But seeing what others are using AI for, and if we're going to get better AI and built in, like you said, and which we hope that it's going to be, and that AI is going to be built into our whole ecosystem, that it can look at all of it, that's going to open up some amazing opportunities for us, isn't it? To be even more ways in which we can help our clients, and that's what it's all about. So yeah, really excited for it. Can't wait. Is it 8 hours or something to go? You know, not that I'm counting down the hour.
Yeah, it's about 8 hours, 7.5 maybe. But yeah, so that's on tonight. So Aaron, that brings us up to 9:30. So what you got coming up this week?
So big week this week. I am off to London to QuickBooks HQ. So I'm going to do a bit of, first of all, we're doing a bit of update to our core certification and training platform. So keep an eye out for that being updated, because we're doing some big work in the background. Don't know where that beat came from. And then I'm off for Accounting Council next week as well. So that's going to be an opportunity to see what's going on in the world of QuickBooks behind the scenes. So very, very excited. You know, I love my little trips to London. And the big part of this week as well is trying to implement some of the stuff I learned from last week. So that's going to be that's going to be top of my agenda. What about you, Jan? You were looking at some exciting things for Client Engager, aren't you? That's what it sounds.
Yeah. So I'm on Wednesday. I'm over at the free agent office meeting their support teams and their training, their sales teams, and showing them the benefits of Client Engager. So we've had loads and loads of positive feedback. We're already the 7th most utilized integration with Free Agent. And we're only a couple of weeks in, so that's fantastic news. So they've asked if I can go and explain it, so they can then explain it to their partners and accountants and bookkeepers as well. The sign of a true partnership, where they want to push our product and promote our product without any financial incentives or anything like that. They just recognize a decent product and they think their users can benefit from it. So they've asked me to go in and do that, which is exciting. I'm looking forward to that. I've not been to the Free Agent office since before COVID. It's in Edinburgh, so it's just down the road, but yeah, great space. I'm looking forward to that. Probably you can, yeah. We're also implementing or testing a new project management tool. So we're testing Asana in Client Engager at the moment for in our team to manage our work plans, our roadmap, our tasks and marketing and everything like that. We're all kind of using different things at the moment. So we're just trying to bring it all into one place. So we'll see how that goes this week as well. And then, yeah, there's one other thing I'm doing for Client Engager, but I'll keep that under my hat for now.
Fair play. Exciting. Oh, it's it'll be a good week. Good week.
Well, definitely. And hopefully I'll be testing all the new Apple announcements because we've got the Client Engager app in the App Store. I get developer access. So by the end of tonight, I should have all the new betas with all the new tools, which will be exciting.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Can't wait. Cool.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much to everybody that's commented and joined us today. Thank you, as always, to Apron for sponsoring us and making these podcasts possible. We will see you all next week, where we'll be able to discuss all things XeroCon. Did anyone show up? Did they announce anything other than a new Google font? We shall see. Hopefully they would do, because I'd like something to talk about. It would be nice. Yeah, that's it. And we'll be able to go through anything else that happens in the world of accounting. So yeah, thank you very much to everyone, as always, for joining us. It is you guys that keep us true and honest and keep us here every single week. So we will see you all next week.
Bye for now.
Goodbye.